Sawtooth Dave, what's happening, y'all? Another week down. This week's a little bit of sorrow because I'm sure everybody heard Jason Brown passing. I didn't really know him like on a personal level. Like we talked a couple times through the YouTube comments and that sort of thing, but I didn't really know him on a personal level. But seen pictures of him at Blade Show, and I recognized him, you know, and I obviously recognized the name. Like Snuzz reached out to me, let me know he passed and stuff, and I didn't really know him on a personal level. So like, it's probably one of the guys that I talked to, but never really was a buddy with him. But definitely a huge loss for the knife community. Like, there's a core group of guys. If you guys do videos, I'm sure you'll know them too, that you pretty much see almost on a weekly basis. Like, even if they don't watch your video right away, they kind of come around and make the rounds. At least drop a comment, let you know that, you know, they were there and they're supporting you, kind of thing. And it means a lot to most of us creators that do that sort of thing. And Jason was always kind of one of those guys. Like, I haven't talked to him in a while now, I'm not gonna lie, but especially at the beginning of this, because I've been going for well over a year now. He always kind of dropped by and just let me know that somebody's watching, somebody's listening, that sort of thing. For what I gather from what other people say, just, you know, a super nice guy. I kind of had a loss, man. I don't really know what else to say. And not that I'm unempathetic, I just, where do you go in that situation? So I heard something about Lancelot, Stevie, EDC Roundtable doing some kind of raffle. I haven't talked to him. I got Stevie's number. I'm gonna text him a little bit, see if I can help out in that regard, like either donate a knife or, you know, maybe some funds, or even join the raffle. I don't know what's going on or what's happening. I kind of fell out of the loop on this one, but I'll catch back up, and if I learn anything that you guys need to know that you don't already know, I'll let you know. So rest in peace, Jason. All right, so last week I pretty much tried to do a review on this, or not a review, but talk about this 31, and pretty much right away I sliced myself on it and suffered through the rest of that video, pretty much bleeding like a stuck pig at that point. But recap what I thought on this 31. I like the knife a lot. Like, I'm pretty much right on deck of getting a Sebenza. I'm just not quite there yet. I think I'll probably start with the Norseman. I told my buddy Aaron, that the knife finder guy, y'all know we're good buddies, and he's been sending me pictures of people selling them and telling me, you know, what's a good price and what's not a good price. But I'm honestly looking for a beater, man. I'm not looking for a nice new one. I'm looking for something that's all beat the hell up, someone loved on. Like, I don't know if you saw Steve Scotch and Things video. This is his knife, by the way. He just got a NSN SMF, and it's all beat up and rubbed on and, you know, loved on, and that's my kind of knife, man. I love that. So like, even like that Sawtooth I just showed you a second ago, what the hell I did with it, there it is. Like, every mark on this I know where pretty much came from, because I'm the one that did it, you know. Like, everything on this, like, it's just it's a cool thing to have a knife that's all beat up. To me, they have more class. It's just like more like what I like, what I'm into on as far as knives go. I mean, there are some that you're gonna baby, right? I mean, just nature of the beast, right? But my man Will from WC Reviews, if y'all ain't seen Will's channel, go check him out. He's into the bruiser knives, and he was actually thinking about Sebenza. He asked me a couple questions about this one. We kind of share similar tastes. Like, he just got a Fat Daddy he did a video on earlier this week, and also the Chavez 229, which is right after when I looked at Mateo's 228. So we had a lot of the similar knives that were just coming through that, you know, we both have had our hands on, and we have similar tastes, man. Like, anybody that calls a Chavez a gentleman knife, like Will did, like, we got similar taste, man, because that's exactly what I think of. Because I think of this is a little knife to me. Like, I don't think I'd ever just carry a Sebenza, but I know, like, the pointy end, like, he's all about this, the Chris Reeves, and this is more than enough, and he needs, and he probably does more with his knife than I do with mine. I mean, maybe, I don't know, who really knows, right? But another good channel, go check out. The pointy end, I don't remember his name, I can't remember, sorry. Is it Darren? I don't know, I can't remember, I'm sorry, man. But he's got a Facebook group, it's Blades Over 250, and if you do Facebook, go check his group out, definitely worth checking out. I mentioned him last week, a week before, I can't remember, when I had notes, which, you know, I never have notes, I pretty much wing it almost every time, just sit down and hit record on it. But for Will was asking, like, action wise, I think I've already demonstrated enough with this one, but the action's not like in any kind of, if you're into action, like modern knife action, this isn't the knife. Like this design, even though the 31 is a revised version of a 21, but if you take it the original form of a 21, that's, you know, what, 15, 20 years old, older, I don't know. Somebody out there probably knows. I think it's 30 years old or something. I don't know. Like, it's just, you're not going to get modern action. But what you are going to get is a really good cutting knife. And like the geometry of the knife, the hollow ground, like how it's ground, all that stuff. It's a good knife, man. It's a damn good knife. I was pretty much set on getting one, and then something changed my mind. And we'll get to that in a minute here. But you know how that's, something's always changed your mind, and you get to it, but then you get these dreaded, gotta go to the post office and pick your shit up kind of notes. I got one of those I gotta pick up. So y'all see next week, or maybe the week after, because next week's AZ Knife Meetup, and I always enjoy going to that bullshit with those guys. I always see more stuff than I would ever get to expose, like in another way, and hanging out with those guys and getting to bullshit about knives. If you're local to AZ or you're willing to drive, this particular one's in Tucson, which is, Ewan's house is only like 30 minutes from here, maybe. So pretty much we do one every 3 or 4 months, try to get together. So if any of you guys around the AC area want to get, AZ area want to get together, hit one of us up. You know, Faction, Ewan's, Cue Ball. There's other guys involved as well. Those are the main ones that started it, and I just kind of joined in with those guys. So shout out to all those guys. Another knife I wanted to quick talk about, I talked about it last weekend, but is the Norseman. And I really have, this is a complete opposite. Now, Will, if you see this is an action knife. Now, it's not a bruiser at all. And it's a big enough knife that, you know, you could get a lot of work done with it. Probably more capable of knife than a lot of the ones I have. This is the action knife. This is definitely an action knife. You see a lot of people say that Norsemans are the knife, but oh yeah, everything about this one is sweet. And I did see, who was it that did a video? I can't remember. It was talking about the double thumb stud. So I don't know if this one is from, what the hell's her name? The brothers. Yeah, I just said it too. And the Norseman, the brothers. My brain's farting. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if it's from the factory or not. I don't know if this is aftermarket thumb stud, but it's got the 2 thumb studs on it. Now, man, this knife is just nice with 2 thumb studs, and that's the biggest thing I hate about that Sebenza is no second thumb stud. And honestly, that one probably, even though Steve uses it a lot, it's probably not been fondled like enough to make it loosen up. You know, like all the Foster Bronze knives, like a Medford's and all that stuff, they all loosen up every time. That one's still pretty tight. So, you know, it's just how it's set up. I still think I like the design of that Sebenza. As a cutting tool, I'll definitely take that Sebenza any day of the week. As a fidget tool, this Norseman, Gizmo Brothers, that's it. I knew I'd remember. The Grimsmo Brothers, definitely this is a slick knife. And I've heard a lot of things about the Rask. I think Steve has a Rask or two too. He likes a lot too. And I think they got different milling patterns and all that other stuff. But overall, man, I just wanted to re-emphasize, mainly to Steve, because he said this is more a surprise kind of knife. That, man, I really dug the surprise of this one, because quite honestly, man, this one, between the two, if I'm going to go pick one up and mess with it, it's going to be this one every single time. Every single time. I like this knife is just unique, and that's what I like about it. It's unique, at least to the ones that I've handled anyhow. Like, I just really appreciate this knife. And honestly, like, so Steve sent me the Arius in a while back, and I thought about getting one. I had a buddy, Mitch Bowling, on YouTube and Instagram, that offered me a pretty good price on one. And knife kind of always kind of rolled around the back of my head as a possibility of getting in the future. This is definitely the same kind of thing. Like, after handling one, it's put a little bug in my ear, and you know, filed it away back deep in the brain. I'll remember it. I'll get one of these days. I'm sure I will. It'll just be a matter of time. Quick shout out to my buddy Red from Romania. I believe it's what, Romania. The dude does cool videos. He shows me heretics from time to time, and he's showing me a heretic that he wanted me to check out. It was cool, man. Like, shout out to you, brother. And then y'all watch this long enough, y'all seen me say it before, but like, if you do a channel and you're doing videos and stuff like that, like Will from WC Reviews, me and him probably gonna swap some knives. He's got a half-breed knife folder that he wants me to check out, and you know, I'll send him a Sawtooth. I'll probably get that one back from Matt. Well, I am going to get that one back from Matt next weekend. The Stonewash one, you've probably seen on Neve's Knives. Lefty had it for a minute. My buddy Aaron used to own it. You've seen it on this channel before. Anyway, that's the one I like to make the rounds with. So, like that black one, that DLC one I showed earlier, this one, it don't leave the house. It stays here. And the other one I made the scale for, that I sold to Steve and Steve sold back to me, that's not leaving the house either. Those two are mine. Like, you want to see those, you're going to see them from me. Like, I'm not sending those out. That's just, some of those are, some of the knives I have, I will send out, no problem. Other knives, at least at this point, I'm not willing to kind of lose them. And that's kind of how I look at it when I send a knife to somebody, is there's a possibility of losing it every time you go ship something, or, you know, we really don't know each other, right? Like me and Will really don't know each other other than through a video. We're kind of just trusting each other. That's just part of the cool part of the knife community. And shout out to Nicholas Edwards. Me and him about to swap some knives too. If y'all don't know who Nicholas Edwards is, go check his channel out. Definitely worth cool dude, worth checking out. I'm rambling at the mouth. I did show you the pink slip, and the pink slip is from DSK. And I ordered this knife, I don't know, it's been months ago now. I don't say like February, March, January, somewhere. It's been a while. Like, so I am getting another DSK. Having said that, like, he posted one up that was for available the other day, and I don't need another knife. I didn't need to buy another new knife, but I did. And he posted this one up, and I was like, yeah, I'm taking that one. Now, y'all got to excuse me because I did go back this and pick this up from the post office on Saturday, and I'm not one to just pick a knife up and put it in my pocket, hope it works kind of thing. I'm going to use it, and then I have used it a little bit already, so you can kind of see the wear and tear on it a little bit already. But VXC, I believe is what it's called. I have to look at the card to make sure. 154 cm, I don't know if you can see that laser engraving. That's kind of one of his logos. I don't know if you see it, stand it up. It's a DSK logo. It's kind of like him with a respirator on, more or less. It's kind of what it looks like, but it's a skull version of it. 154 cm, I already said, I think. This one's on phosphor bronze, so it definitely has a different feel to it, and it's really unique. I'm super excited about this one. This one's really cool. This one definitely, you know, let's see how to start this. So Jason started me down the from Brass Brigade, started me down the whole Warncliffe thing, because I was never really like a huge Warncliffe guy. He's a real big Warncliffe guy, and he showed me, well, after, you know, after he designed this one, and I've had others since, but this one, and then maybe that Proponent that Satisfaction bought, let me borrow. I've been kind of searching for and yeah, you know, I got the EOS too, whatever the hell that thing is. But I'm searching for kind of Warncliffe that's more my style Warncliffe. And then I saw this one pop up, and I was like, this is perfect, man. And another shout out to Plethora Blades, which I doubt he'll even see this. He's not really active anymore on YouTube. I know he pops in from time to time, but if you see this, bro, I know, remember you had one similar to this. This is one badass knife, man. I don't know if yours was as badass as this is, but this one has the, I think that this is a thicker stock than normal. So this is a 1/4 inch blade and 3/16. This is a G10 and a titanium. Normally I'm not I like a full tie almost everywhere, almost every time. There's a few knives that I can say that I don't mind not being full tie. The Hinder series, the XMs, the 24 and the 18s, I don't mind them. Eclipses, like they're all fine, but the G10 scale, and I don't really know why that is. Like, generally speaking, I like full tie. This is another one of those knives that once I put it in my hand and started playing with it, I was like, man, it's got a real good solid feel to it no matter what. Now the pivot is backing out right now. I probably need to take it out and Loctite it, but you know, I've only had it for a few days, and I'm, you know, it's already breaking in nice. You can see how well it flicks. Am I gonna say this is the most useful ergonomic knife? Well, I think you can pretty much look at it and see it's not the most ergonomic knife. There are, you know, some sharp edges and that sort of thing, but I don't think that's why I buy these kind of knives. Like, if you're looking for just a prime cutter, you can get a utility knife. Cut everything you need to do with a utility knife, and probably be way cheaper. Well, not probably. I could probably buy utility knives for the rest of my life for what I pay for this one, and still not ever dull them all out. So not an inexpensive knife, but just a me knife, totally a me knife. Like, this is a bruiser of a knife, man. It's a badass. And if I believe right, and don't quote me on this because I'm not like everything DSK, but I believe Dan's still a one-man show, which means he gets the stuff water jetted, and then he does everything else, like everything. So he does the grinds, he does the machining, he does the laser work, he does the fit and finish, he does everything, you know. So to me, that's as custom gets. Like, if you're just outsourcing basically your profiles, everything else is done by you. That's 100% custom knife. There's not a whole lot of people making knives like this, like these bruiser style, nice, thick, big, chunky guys. A lot of attitude in this knife. You know, a lot of feel in the hand, attitude, and that sort of thing. Like, there's not a whole lot of knives that give you this kind of feel, man. Like, you know, like Crusader's out of business as far as I know. Like Direware is another one, but Direware is definitely on the CNC level, and they're way up as far as like their style of knives. They're more refined. This is definitely more raw, more crude. This is more my style of knife. Like when I say crude, I'm not talking about like, let's see. Here's a perfect example. So if I was going to use this, let's just use this Chris Reeve. So like the edge on this Chris Reeve, you see how nice crisp edge it is? It's all straight, the chamfer right here. So it's done at a CNC, it's nice and crisp. You don't see any flaws at all on that, right? It's as crisp as you could get. And if you look at the edge on this DSK, you see it's done by hand. It's not done on a machine like they did over there. They didn't profile it and then go around it with a, you know, a corner round or an edge break, you know, chamfer mill or something like that. This is done on hand. I'm guessing he's doing it on this belt sander. You see how there's a little unevenness, like especially through here. See, it's a little thicker edge or bevel right here than it is through here. He's doing it by hand, man. So like, that's what I mean by crude. It's done from, like, if you're a Chinese knife guy, it would be complete opposite of what you're used to. You're used to precision of CNC. This is precision of hand-eye coordinate, you know, manipulating it. Can't put words straight in a minute here. Anyway, the knife that I ordered, what that other one was, the pink one I got to pick up, was basically, I changed it. And me and Dan talked about it for a minute when I bought this one. And he's like, what do you want done to it? And I was like, I want you to build it to your preference. And then he's like, well, we should make it like a, more or less like a brother-sister kind of thing, like a sister knife to this one. And so he put this similar style skull on it. And it's a different model, but he kind of dressed it up similarly, put it that way. Really super excited about getting it too. And y'all heard me in the past probably talk about how much I like the kickstand, the GF2 that I got from my wife for our anniversary. But all three of the DSKs I currently own, I know the other ones in the post office, so 4 coming up soon, are all going to be slightly different. But having the pair kind of sort of thing, I thought was a cool as fuck idea. And it was pretty much, I got to say, it was pretty much Dan's idea. And it was a freaking phenomenal idea. So I'm really looking forward to getting it. To be honest, I don't even know if it's on bearings or phosphor bronze, because this is the first knife that I got from Dan that was on phosphor bronze, and I wish all of them mine were now. Like, this one is sick, man. Like, I'm a phosphor bronze kind of guy in general. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it wouldn't. Me and Nick Edwards were talking about that, and he had a knife. I can't remember what one it was now at this point, but he was talking about he wished it was on phosphor bronze. And I mean, I can make phosphor bronze for anything. That ain't a problem, like from a machine shop point of view. But to me, once you get used to a knife with the bearings in it, and then you go to phosphor bronze, it feels weird. Don't feel the same. And like I like a knife that's kind of designed with phosphor bronze, and this one definitely is. And it's got a cool feel to it. It's a me knife, man. If y'all can't tell, I'm super excited about this one. Matt's facts, if you see this, Matt, bro, I can't wait to show you this thing, because me and him both like odd stuff. Like, I ain't saying everything we like's odd, but like we like the unique, different style stuff. And he's got big old hands too, so he'll probably dig it too. But this is definitely unique and cool at the same time. I have, you know, cut up a good bit of stuff with it already just to make sure. It's 154 cm. Like, you don't expect, you know, remarkable edge retention, but to me 154 cm is fine. This one does great. It's super thick, so, you know, of course it ain't gonna slice through stuff. Having said that, I sliced up a big ass box today and it did no problem at all. Now if you put it on stuff and use it like a utility knife and push through the material, like here's a material you push through it and then, you know, scrape it does fine for that. Like, but if you're holding it and trying to push through it like this, you know, it's a little different. So I think everybody knows that. I don't really got to explain that stuff. But once again, shout out to Red. So, hey, Red, it's my kind of knife, brother. I know you like showing that heretic, but it's my kind of big old beefy bastard of a knife, man. All right. I guess I'm going to call it there and leave it on a high note, man. Yep. Looking forward to next week for all the AZ meetup stuff. Hopefully you have some stories to tell. I'm sure it will, man. Every time I meet up with those guys, it's a blast. We have a fun time. Getting to check on Mrs. Iona's edge and make sure she's doing well, which I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah. It's funny because Iona's asked, like, I told him, you know, man, anything you need, let me know. And he asked for the one thing I couldn't give him, which is my time. And like, I'm sorry, man. I just ain't got it, bro. So hopefully you got your issue figured out. And if you needed help beyond that, you know, hit me up. I'm still around. All right, then. Y'all be cool. See you next week.